here with Stephen Stanton, of course, the Clone Wars Captain Tarkin is here. Good time. Stephen, I'm going to ask you, yesterday you got inducted to something. We saw you walking around with clone armor. What happened with that?
Well, there was a couple of things actually happening. Nick Bishop, who we brought out here, there he goes actually with the helmets. He made 2 helmets to help us raise money for the Princess Leia, the foundation, I guess they're calling it now, the Princess Leia Foundation. And part of what he and his 501st Thylacine Squad did, unbeknownst to me, was to make me a suit of armor, a suit of Scout Trooper armor, which they presented to me live on the Forcecast yesterday in front of everybody. They suited me up in front of the audience. And then to top it off, the Mandalorian Mercs inducted me and made me an honorary member of their organization as well. So it was kind of a double whammy kind of a thing all at once. So it was it was great. It was pretty wild.
Did you have the whole legs and everything, right?
Yeah, they did. The first thing they did was they brought out a black jumpsuit and they said, "Get into this." And I'm like, "Here?" Or don't I have it go behind a curtain or something? They said, "Just put it on over what you have." And then piece by piece, they started doing all the different, the chest plate and the backpack and the elbow, shoulder, and all that kind of the boot. They had special boots. They had to put those on, and there I was, a Scout Trooper. The only thing they didn't present me with is a speeder bike. So.
Now that would have been cool to have that. Maybe that's yeah. After a year or so, you get the speeder bike, and so how comfortable was that?
It was a little difficult to get used to at first, but then kind of once you're in it, you kind of figure out. The only thing I kept forgetting was I had something on my back. So I back up, and I think I had like 6 more inches, and I didn't back there. Like banging into things and stuff. So.
Well, I do some trooping as well, and I can tell you, you can't sit down. You can't really do much in it. So here.
See out of that helmet too.
Yeah, it is. Here's a picture. You've been signing these for free this whole weekend.
Yeah, for fan days here.
And then you were talking about the Leia Foundation as well, right? How's that going?
It's been going great. If you got a shot right there, you can see that people have been very generous. This is our second day raising money for baby Leia and her parents, Franny and Zev, in part of the 501st in Southern California. And I think the fans have been so generous, and the Mandalorian Mercs have done a great job. Also, anybody that donates gets a free patch, and I think there's a second patch upstairs in their room up there that they're giving away too. So they got 2 patches that they made for the Princess Leia Foundation. You can see up there. So it's great. Everybody's just been fantastic.
That's good. Now we can't ask too much about the Clone Wars, obviously, but. I don't know if you can say this. Are you going to be appearing in season 4?
Stephen Stanton is definitely going to be in season 4. Who he appears as is kind of like under wraps. I play multiple characters, and Clone Wars is, they're always creating new characters. So we don't like to give away too many spoilers, but I do have a big multi-story arc that's coming up in season 4 that's really kind of different. Dave Filoni had a blast directing it. I think he said this was his favorite one.
He directed too.
Well, Dave Filoni always pretty much directs Clone Wars.
The actual show. Okay.
I don't know. Dave Filoni, the director of Clone Wars. He's kind of been there since day one.
No, I mean, sometimes he actually, I know he directs you, but the actual episodes, like, or was he writing them too? Maybe I'm thinking of the right.
He's always there when in the studio recording. Dave is our our director, for the recording sessions. We've had a few other people guest directing here and there, at least in my situation. But I think almost every episode I've done so far has been directed by Dave. So he directs the cast and leads us down that path and makes sure that we're all we're not crossing storylines or that kind of stuff. But yeah, he said when we were doing the multi-story arc that's going to be coming up in season 4, he's like, "Oh, this is my favorite kind of thing to do." So
the last question is, fan days. This is your first fan days, correct?
It is my first fan days. It's been great.
Yeah. So I was going to say, how has it been?
It's been fantastic. This convention center, which I understand is the first time they've used it for fan days, is enormous. There's I think 4 stories. I haven't even been up to most of them, but it seems like every floor that I've been to, like the one where I did the Clone Wars panel last night, it was enormous. Every floor seems to have a lot of stuff going on. So it's really a great venue for this con.
So what would I'd have to ask this too, because I'm a big fan of all your impressions.
Okay.
Big fan of all your impressions. What would, let's see, how would Christopher Walken describe this weekend?
wow, I think you almost took the words right out of my mouth. You know, it's great. It's fantastic. It was crazy, you know. But I think that's probably what he would say.
Okay, that's what we'd say. Here he is, folks. You saw it right there, Stephen Stanton. We're coming back later.